It's the peppery flavor, it's the slight sourness.
Now, this is not one I have come across before, and I used to run a spice company. Hi everyone, I'm Malika Basu, and in this new series we are throwing the doors of spice cupboards wide open with some of the best cooks and flavor thinkers today. From home kitchens to restaurant tables, we'll be sharing the stories, memories and secret tips lurking in the world of spices today. I have with me today Ixta Belfrage. Hello Ixta.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Not at all, you are fantastic.
That is so sweet, thank you. So are you. You really are.
Ixta, love your work. So you draw from the influences in Brazil, Italy and Mexico.
Yes.
And you do some really exciting things with actually quite regular classic dishes, which I love the sound of. And today we're making a smashed prawn burger. Is that right?
Indeed. We are indeed. But I think the special thing about this prawn smash burger, as we're celebrating spices, is the spice mix, which is influenced and inspired by a sort of a Madras curry spice mix, but also with my one of my favorite ingredients, which is called urukum, and it's the seeds of a spicy red berry that's native to South and Latin America. So it's traditionally used in indigenous Amazonian Brazilian cooking, and also in Latin America and in the Caribbean now as well.
Now, this is not one I have come across before, and I used to run a spice company. So hold that thought, and we're going to talk about how it tastes, what it smells like, what it looks like in a minute. And shall we get cooking?
Let's get cooking.
Excellent.
Let's do it. So we're going to serve this smash burger with some chips, some really simple skin-on oven chips.
Right.
So first thing you want to do is cut them into sort of, I like to go about 1 centimeter thick, and really this is quite rough. I don't need to be very precise or precious or neat with this. But I personally like to keep the skin on, and if you've got a little bit of black like that, it's no problem. Just
get rid of
chop
it.
it off.
Right?
We don't want
exactly.
that.
We don't want to waste unnecessarily,
No.
but that's a good thing.
So,
and you've written mezcla, which was
Yes.
very critically acclaimed. It was, much loved. And there is another cookbook on the way as well.
Yes, there is. So my next cookbook is called Fusain, and it's out at the end of August, which might be now, I don't know. And it is a celebration of Brazil, which is where my mum is from. And I mean, it's not about all of Brazil, because Brazil is absolutely
Huge,
vast.
isn't it? Exactly.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's got 26 states, and many of which are bigger than France.
So I mean, amazing. Yes.
Which just means the food there is so varied, and it's really influenced by geographical, where it is near the sea, near the jungle, in the mountains. It also borders 9 other countries, so where it borders another country, the influence of the food changes again. And the book is about fusion cooking, because actually Brazilian food in itself is a fusion. So most Brazilian classics are a fusion of indigenous cooking, Portuguese and African, because of the transatlantic slave trade.
Exactly.
Yes. So some of the best Brazilian dishes, I think, have those incredible African influences and ingredients that were taken from Africa to Brazil and that are now ubiquitous in Brazil. For example, like red palm oil and coconut, okra. These are all ingredients that Brazilians use a lot, and maybe some Brazilians even think that they're native to Brazil, but
not necessarily.
Actually,
exactly.
They are from Africa. But this dish really is a celebration of urukum, which is how it's known in Brazil, but in the Caribbean it's called anato, and in Latin America and in Mexican cooking it's called achiote.
Achiote. So I have come across achiote.
Yeah.
I did not know, of course, it was called urukum.
Yeah.
And how easy is it to get hold of? Like, can we just buy it online?
Absolutely. So you can buy the seeds. I like to get the seeds like this and grind them up myself into a little powder. You can also buy it as a paste. Usually when it's a paste, it's under the name achiote paste.
Right.
So it's because when in Brazil, you would search for the word urukum, which is what I call it. But if you're in the UK trying to search for it online, I would probably look for either anato or achiote.
Okay, that's a top tip right
Top
there.
tip.
So I have to admit that the last time I counted how many spices I had in my cupboard, it was like 52, and that was
52.
a few years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And then I stopped counting because
Wow.
it really began to stress me out. and I don't have achiote, so I wonder whether this is next on my list of things to grab.
I would really recommend it. I mean, it's basically, it's peppery, it's a little bit sour, and the other great thing about it, I think, is that it gives this beautiful orangey red hue.
Oh, we love
so,
that.
yeah, I mean, I think it's stunning. It's used in traditionally in many dishes to give just colouring.
Just the colour,
But I
right.
actually think that, you know, it's not just the colour that's beautiful about it, it's the peppery flavour, it's the slight sourness.
So I did have a little taste when you weren't looking earlier, when we were prepping, and it's really fantastic. So it's nutty. When you first bite into it, it's got this nuttiness, but it's got a really lingering fruitiness about it, doesn't it?
It's fruity, it's peppery.
Right, and it sits there. It kind of, it's sitting there, so it's got a more lasting flavour about it.
Exactly.
What else would you use it in, just out of interest?
Well, I mean, traditionally, Indigenous people actually use it as face paint, body paint, and also as a natural sunscreen. So not only could you use it in cooking, it's also. But I know you're talking about food. But so if you're not using it as a natural sunscreen, you could also use it. You know, you could stir it into a mayonnaise, for example, to make a really delicious spiced sauce. I use it as like a dry rub for a steak or chicken. Sorry, this is getting quite boring. I'm going to get the chips.
Lovely. Yes,
I'm going to get the chips in. So next we're going to toast the spices, which, as you know, is a very important step.
Important. And why? Because it just extracts all that flavor, doesn't it? And in fact, when spices have been sitting around in the cupboard for ages, it's a really good way to give them a lease of life, isn't it?
Absolutely. It completely changes them, gives them that more sort of toasty, roasty notes.
Lovely. Tell us what else went in there. You had fenugreek seeds.
We've got fenugreek, we've got black peppercorns, we've got cumin, we've got coriander seeds, and we've got the urukum, which will give it a lovely little red colour. And we've also got a cinnamon stick, which we're going to throw in there as well.
It smells so good already.
I know, just toasting spices, it almost instantly gives that incredible aroma.
This is the hardest job in the world, by the way, you know this, right? Like just smelling all the food when someone else is cooking it and talking about what they're doing. Urukum, is there a good substitute for it?
Yes, so I always say, there's a few. So I would say if you can get your hands on sumac, that's a really good alternative because it's also quite sour and peppery and red. So it's kind of checks all those boxes.
Right.
Sumac is obviously also not the easiest thing to find. So you could also use a mix of pepper and paprika, which gives the pepperiness and the colour, and then just sort of add a bit more lime or vinegar to whatever you're cooking to get that acidity.
Bit more of the, the citrusy bit. That smells incredible, and it doesn't need long, does it? It's only a couple of minutes.
No, just a couple of minutes. In fact, I mean, you're the spice queen, so I think you should tell me when to stop. So now I'm just going to put it in this bowl to make it easier to get into here.
Sure.
I'm actually just going to break this cinnamon stick a little bit to help it grind in there.
And so we're using a spice grinder. We're talking a little bit about spice grinders.
Yeah.
So coffee grinders make excellent spice grinders, as long as you're not then grinding your coffee beans in it, because coriander coffee, cumin coffee.
I'm not sure. I think I wouldn't mind a little bit of this extra flavour in my coffee.
Good. We got some really hardcore spice lovers in here, didn't we, in this studio? A big note on spice grinders is that try and get a removable bowl if you can, because it makes washing up and cleaning much easier.
I just made the mistake of getting a new one, and you have to bring the whole thing to the sink and wash it, and then I'm like, oh, is the water going to get in the electrical socket?
Exactly that. The other thing to note is also a lot of hand blenders now come with spice attachments.
Really? I didn't know
You can get
that.
spice grinders, with certain brands. So keep an eye out for that, but obviously that requires you to completely change your handheld blender and attachments. So this sort of thing might work a little bit better.
And of course you can use a pestle and mortar if you don't have a spice grinder, which will take a little bit of elbow grease, but that's fine.
Very much so, and it's especially good a pestle and mortar if you're trying to adjust the texture.
Yes.
Because it's quite easy to blitz this into too fine a powder, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point actually. When I'm blending my spice mixes, I prefer to not do it too much, because I don't want a powder. I want a little bit of texture.
Right.
So shall I give it a blitz?
Let's go. Right.
So let me have a look. So I think that's a bit too much texture, so I'm going to go...
So what are we looking for? Like a little bit like of a texture? Not.
I think basically somewhere like... I wouldn't say coarse, but I don't want a powder.
Okay, good.
I don't want it to be like paprika or like a...
Got you.
I don't know why I suggested paprika, but
It's going up my nose. It's a really bad place.
I think I'll give it one more little...
Okay.
I think that's kind of like a little bit of texture.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to give it a couple more.
Okay, right.
Woo! That went up my nose as well.
I was going to say, that smells so good. It's potent.
Okay, so I've just added some paprika and garlic. I didn't want to blitz those because they're already fine enough. And also we don't really need to toast them because they'll burn. So that's why I'm adding them at this stage. And then adding that textured spice blend.
And interesting about garlic as well. So garlic's come up a fair bit in our series and it seems to be quite popular. Garlic granules as a flavor sort of adder, and you know, I don't use it that much. How do you like it?
I do quite like it. I'm going to be really honest and say that I actually hate peeling garlic. And it's just, I mean, I love garlic, but if I use it, I always just like smash it in the skin.
Right.
And then just kind of like randomly chuck it in.
Okay,
I just don't really want to, with bits of
right.
skin, and then later I pull the skin out.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the sumac, and you're going to add?
So I forgot to add the sumac, which we're adding as well for, again, a little bit more colour and sour flavour. So it's going to be sort of spiced, but also spiced, nutty, toasty, but also a little bit sour.
Can I just say also that the idea of that going with prawns is really interesting, because like you wouldn't think naturally to do that, would you? Like combining such a kind of intense and flavorful mix with prawns. I'm very excited about this.
Well, I think the prawns can really take it. And we're going to add some pancetta to the prawns as well, because they've got lovely fat, which will just help bind everything, but also give it a lot of delicious cured fatty flavour.
It's a great idea.
But you absolutely don't have to use pork if you don't want to. You could use lamb fat, or you could just, honestly, prawns have enough natural stickiness that you could just do prawns if you don't eat meat.
Fab. That's actually really
that's
good
fine.
to know. Yeah.
So I'm going to add some of this spice mix, and we're going to use the rest to just toss over the chips. So the chips are going to be nice and spiced as well. So I am also going to add some delicious mango jam. You can use mango jam, you can use mango chutney. In my cookbook, I have a recipe for mango jam, which I use in lots of different savoury recipes, but you could absolutely use a shop-bought mango jam or chutney.
Love that.
Or even a pineapple jam would be delicious.
And surely everyone has a jar of mango chutney at home that they're desperate to use up. Yes, I love this, because definitely pineapple chutney, mango chutney just sitting there. So and of course, that also has spices in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It'll have like pickling spices of some
even
sort.
more. And I love the combination of fruit and meat or seafood. I love sweet and savoury.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I can't wait to try this
prawn
recipe
and mango, or prawn and pineapple, just delicious.
So good.
So again with this, I don't like things that are too sort of pasty without texture. I like texture. I like a bit of.
Right.
So I want to have a little bit of prawn pieces, a little bit of pancetta. So you don't want to blitz this to a paste. You kind of just want to pulse it until it all comes together. So I think.
Right, that's looking really good, isn't it?
And it smells delicious. So now, I mean, it may not look like that much, but it's more than enough for four smash burgers, because we're gonna, with the point of a smash burger is you want to sort of like press it down so it gets nice and crispy. Yeah.
And you have a top tip on how to make this as well.
But I also just realised I forgot to add something, which is the sesame oil, which I think it's such a classic combination: pork, prawn, and sesame oil. It just goes so well. And again, that sort of toasty, roastiness just helps bring out all those spices as well. So then you need to make them into sort of little patties, and I like to just, that was too much. I like to just grease my hands a little bit, and I will do it with my hands. You can absolutely wear gloves if you prefer, but I think it's just easier to do it with your hands. So first just divide it into 4 roughly, and then we'll kind of...
Excellent. I have a confession to make, by the way.
Please.
I use an ice cream scoop to do this because I'm completely challenged with splitting anything into even sized portions. This is where your chefing and your professionalism comes in.
I just don't really mind if they're not exactly the same. That's the thing, it just doesn't. And I'm kind of vaguely just
That's quite comforting actually to hear.
It really doesn't need to be exactly the same size.
Perfect.
Also, they'll probably be, if you're serving to 4 different people, each person will probably want a slightly different size. So I've kind of vaguely formed them into 4, and now I'm gonna just make them a little bit neater. But you don't need to make them too neat. What we're gonna eventually do is like smash them into the pan there, using the spatula. So I'm just gonna make them vaguely round. Okay, so now we're going to heat the pan until it's nice and hot. You really do want it to be really hot because we're trying to make them crispy.
Sure.
They're not going to be as crispy as meat gets more crispy than prawn.
Of course.
Prawn is sort of, I guess, more watery maybe?
It is a bit.
It does live in the sea after all. It lives in water all of its life.
It's a whole different texture, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
it's not going to be quite as crispy as meat, but it will be very nice.
But imagine those spices in it. I'm so excited about this. Like, fantastic.
So I think that's not quite there yet. So we're just going to really lightly grease the pan. You don't need that much because you've got pancetta fat in there.
Sure.
So another useful tip is to, what I'm going to do is just grease the back of my spatula here. Because you're going to squash it down.
Right.
So we're going to do 2 at a time. I'm going to put that in there and use my spatula to sort of...
Wow.
I would say actually maybe that wasn't quite hot enough.
Wow, but look at that.
Why isn't it hot enough?
Because it smells incredible already.
And I have got room for another one, so I'm just going to... And you really do want a non-stick pan if you can for this, because otherwise... I'm going to get in there with my hands. I do think it's important to use your hands when you cook. Your hands show you. We, always traditionally cooked with our hands, ate with our hands.
Totally big fan of that.
I really do think we should be touching things and feeling things. Of course, wash your hands as you go. But
she is a professional though, so be careful if you're sticking your fingers in a hot pan.
You can obviously use the spatula just.
But I'm the same. I love going in with my fingers, and it just feels instinctive as well, doesn't 100%. It? Like when you know.
And you can see here, this one is kind of nice and neat. It looks, this one's a bit less neat. Absolutely doesn't matter.
I'd lower that a notch because it's on 9, right?
I do want it to get really crispy though. Yeah, it's not.
Are you sure it won't burn? Yes,
it's going to get a really nice golden brown. It'll be okay. Let me have a little look. Ooh. See, that is actually looking really. This like burnt browniness, honestly, is so good. Like it's like the caramelization of the pork and the mango jam.
Gosh, I love it. And that hasn't taken very long at all, has it? It's only a few minutes on each side.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So could you make the actual mix with the prawns earlier and stick it in the fridge?
Yeah, you could make this up to 3 days ahead and keep it, well, let's say 2.
Okay,
I think 2 with prawns. And keep it in the fridge and just have them ready to smash in. So it is smoky, but it's worth it. So now we're just going to finish them in the oven.
Right.
Just to warm them through and make sure that they're cooked all the way through.
Fab.
And then I've turned the temperature down, so they're just warming really. Just going to make a really quick onion and coriander salad. Well, not a salad, just like a topping.
Like a relish.
Like a relish, little, sort of, yeah.
Great.
Just going to finely slice some onion. I like to just do it like this.
Sure. Everyone has a way they like to chop their onion, don't they? It's a thing.
So, and then I'm going to add it to a bowl with some salt. Could you pass the salt?
It's over here.
We're going to give it some salt and some lime juice.
Lovely. Do you ever warm your limes? I'm taking a temperature check of people.
I've never done that. How does that work?
Apparently you stick them in the microwave for like a few seconds.
Really?
And the warmth. But I've never, I don't know if it's needed. If you roll your lime, surely that's enough, right?
I mean, I think it really depends on the lime. This one actually is not giving me much, but some of them have so much juice.
Right.
We're going to finely chop some chili.
Love it. Are you going to de-seed them? Are you into de-seeding chilies?
I am going to de-seed it because I love chili seeds. I will eat them, but in something like a salad, for some reason, I just don't want them in there for looks. So I'm just going to chop up this chili.
Love it. And the chili heat with this, we can just adjust, can't we?
Oh,
like you can
absolutely.
get a smaller one or a bigger one.
Or,
and then-
or you know, a mild chili, or
Exactly.
you could even do a Scotch bonnet here if you love chili. I would. And then just finally a bit of coriander. Don't need to pick it too much. With a little bit of stalk is great.
Fab. I mean, the stalk has so much flavor, right?
Exactly,
It would
yeah.
be a shame to get rid of that.
Mix that all together, and that is ready, really.
Gosh, that looks incredible. Assembly?
Yes, so the burgers are out, the chips are out. We're gonna use the spice mix again on the
Right.
chips, so really liberally. And then some flake sea salt as well.
Fantastic.
And I'm also gonna add a little bit more of oil just to help that all stick to the
Lovely.
chips. And then kind of just use the paper to help you toss it. Again, get in there with your hands.
Fabulous. Yes.
You know what? I think we could do with a bit more of the spice mix. There we go. A little bit of, well, not a little bit, however much you want. I like a lot. A bit of mayo and mango jam or mango chutney, and
Love
just
it.
well, that's probably too much mayo, you know.
We can never have too much mayo. We love a bit of mayo.
Okay, good.
I love that these are really golden and toasty as
Really
well.
golden and toasty, yeah.
Fantastic.
Don't hold back on anything.
Okay.
Now we are gonna. I'm just gonna use my hands.
Yes.
Put the prawn burger on. Look how lovely and golden brown and crispy they are. Then we are going to top with some of that coriander, onion, and chili salad.
Love it.
There we
It's
go.
great for color as well, isn't it?
Really
The
beautiful.
way you get
Colour,
that
crunch.
green.
And obviously, like we said, you can use whatever chili you like, or not, no chili, or I actually use Scotch bonnet on this.
Wow, gosh, that is, yeah.
And there we go. That's it. And I would always serve with more lime, which you can just kind of squeeze on as you go, because I love lime.
Gosh.
And the chips as well. Let's get those into a. There we go. And so now we're just going to pile the chips up and get that lovely salt, that spicy salt on top.
Just watching you do that is making my mouth go. Everything smells incredible, and the spices are going to be so flavorful, aren't they? And like robust.
Just give it a go.
Can I? Ooh.
I've got spice all
Yes,
over my
please.
fingers and I don't care.
We need to loosen this chip from its like stuck tray.
And more lime to squeeze over the chips as well.
Ixta, this looks incredible, and
Thank
I
you.
cannot wait to try this. I have been basically longing for this for the last like half an hour. So let's go. Okay, we're going to try this now. Yes.
Go for it. I'm going to squeeze over some lime
Maybe-
here and you go for the burger.
Are you going to have a little bite of the burger as well?
I am.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Yeah, right,
Let's
let's
go.
go. Oh.
Ooh.
Sweet and spicy.
Oh my goodness. That is so incredible. I don't think I've ever eaten anything like it. The prawn smash burger is so alive. You would not imagine that was prawns.
Really, did
There's
it?
so much flavor.
Yeah,
It's
the toasty spices are it really
Really
is what
good.
makes it.
And you can taste the pancetta as well. That's
Yeah.
coming through really well. And the spices are incredible. And I love that little green thing you did. The salad that went on top. I think it really adds
Just
something.
have to really like freshen it up.
Right.
Go on, give them a go. Again, no hold barred on the spice
goodness.
mix there.
That spice blend as a rub on that.
It's a bit of a mouth party.
It is a bit of a mouth party, and the liminess and the fruitiness is just fantastic. Love this recipe. Thank you
you.
so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm going straight away to buy some urukum.
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 You say it so well. You say it perfectly.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Ixta.